welcome back to another video. So today I'm doing another tier list for Avengers Doomsday, and this is for my predictions of who else they're going to announce. Apparently there's like 24, 25 more that they're going to announce. I have about 30, 32 on this tier list. And yeah, so obviously the tiers I have is going to be announced, good chance they'll show up, maybe a cameo, saving for Secret Wars, and no shot whatsoever. Okay, so let's get into it. Alright, so first up we have Echo. I know that she's from Hawkeye. I haven't seen since Hawkeye since it came out. I didn't watch the Echo show yet. What my good friend Luke has recommended it to me. So I am going to watch it, but since it's got such a bad rap originally, and also like no one really cares about the character, there's no shot that she's come back for Doomsday. Now, so next we have Scar. Scar, to me, is an interesting one. Because you look at it and, we already got the late concept art of all the Hulks, on like a world plane, on Battle World. So, definitely, he's going to be in Secret Wars. But don't know about Doomsday. Maybe that could be the one that they announce, maybe. But I am going to go... I'm at least going to go good chance he'll show up. Because he's in the concept art for Secret Wars, and there's no way that you just get those guys for Secret Wars. Alright, so next we have Famke Janssen as Jean Grey. Now, I've put some X-Men in here. I've mainly put 3 X-Men, because they've announced Kelsey Grammer, Beast, they've announced Alan Cummings, Nightcrawler, they've announced James Marsden, Cyclops, Rebecca Romijn, Mystique, they've announced Ian McKellen's Magneto, they've also announced Patrick Stewart's Professor X. And obviously, because you have James Marsden there, I am definitely going to say that Famke Janssen is going to be announced, because you look at the interviews that she did around the time that Deadpool and Wolverine came out, she was definitely like, oh, yeah, no, sorry, I'm not so disappointed, but I'm not in Deadpool and Wolverine. But she keeps going on, like, but anything can happen, because I wasn't expecting to come back after X-Men 3. Like, having the role in the Wolverine was a surprise to me, and even my little cameo in Days of Future Past was a surprise to me. So, anything can happen. So, there's definitely a chance that she'll show up, especially since James Marsden has been announced. And, yeah, so I think that she'll show up. Now, next up is Jonathan Majors as Kane, because if you remember at the end of Quantumania, we got all of the Kanes, obviously, and we got like Victor Timely, no, not Victor Timely, Central Centurion, Romo Tut, and I forgot the other one, but we got all the Council of Kanes is what you call it. We got the whole Kanes, and it was all Jonathan Majors. I will not be surprised if, even though that Hollywood is hiring him now, for some reason they're hiring him, but they're not hiring James Franco. But anyway, different time. That's a whole different conversation. I am going to go no shot, because they were going to switch to Doom anyway. But I think that now, because Jonathan Majors... that stuff with Jonathan Majors happened, they just want to switch the whole Kane thing entirely. So I kind of get why. Now next up we have Hawkeye. Now, this one's interesting because obviously Jeremy Renner said in interviews and on talk shows that he's ready to jump back into Hawkeye and he's ready for when Marvel needs him. I am going to put him in at least a cameo. Because, well, I'm kind of saying between a cameo and a good chance that they'll show up. Because they haven't really announced a lot of people that are attached to Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark. They've only really announced Chris Hemsworth, and that's about it. I mean, they have announced Scott Lang, and they have announced Sam Wilson and Bucky, Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie. So they do have some that is that have previous connections to Tony Stark, but none of the OG Avengers. So I am going to go at least, for the moment I'm going to go at least a cameo, because there's no way that there's no way that you won't make him show up whatsoever because of all the stuff going on with the Robert Downey Jr. thing. Now, next up is Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. Now, this is interesting because we already know that reports have come out that Chris Evans is going to show up as, whether if it's Captain America or Johnny Storm or Captain Hydra or some variant of Cap. But I think I have heard that Black Widow apparently was like, Black Widow's dead, just let her rest. So I honestly think that there is no shot you get Black Widow, unless you're doing the Evil Avengers, which they probably are, but there's no way that you get Scarlett Johansson in that. Now, next up we have Captain Marvel. I am going to be announced, because there is no shot that you don't announce Captain Marvel, especially since she was they kind of made her Avenger in Endgame, like from the beginning, where they're going to kill Thanos, and then also you see her at the meeting with Okoye and Black Widow and War Machine and all that, and then also you have her at the end. But then also she has been on the Avengers cruise. I forgot what it's called, but the Avengers cruise ship thing. She's been on that as an Avenger, with Sam Wilson, Miss Marvel, Ant-Man, Wasp. I'm actually I don't think that, honestly, that's canon. I don't think. Because that was before Brave New World. That was way before Brave New World. And Wasp's hair is the same as it was in Endgame and Ant-Man the Wasp. And it was the same outfit too. And also Ultron's back, which we have heard that James Spader is coming back for Vision Quest, but that's a whole different thing. But I do think that she'll show up, because you have the post-credit scene of Shang-Chi, Bruce Banner, and Wong. And Shang-Chi has been announced to be in Doomsday. So, so I think that she will be announced. Now, next, Kate Bishop. I honestly think they're saving her for Secret Wars. There's no way that and some of them are on here, but there's no way that a lot of these young Avengers, quote unquote, make it to Doomsday, because by the leaked concept art that came out for Secret Wars, and also the fact that they're going to get a Disney Plus series, that I bet you it's going to be before Secret Wars, not before Doomsday, since Doomsday is literally next year. So I honestly think that I'm going to go saving for Secret Wars, because that is one of those ones where I'm just like, I feel like you need, but... and then, next up we have Sylvie. Now, here's the strange thing. Sylvie... I love Sylvie. Sylvie was fine to me in Loki Season 1. I didn't love her, but I didn't hate her. And I loved her character arc and character as a whole in Season 2. Because I definitely think that Season 2 is a step up from Loki Season 1. So, here's the thing. Because Tom Hiddleston got announced, I am honestly going to go... I'm probably going to go maybe at least a cameo, because I'm kind of in the middle of her being in Secret Wars, because I guess you need someone else to show up with Loki. And I actually like their banter back and forth, their romantic banter, even though that half of Season 2 is literally like, whether if it's Season 2 and Season 1, literally they're arguing half of the time of what the TVA is doing. But anyway. So next up we have Daredevil. This is difficult because I do have street level characters on here, and some of them you'll be actually shocked by my answers because, but Daredevil did show up in No Way Home for a cameo. He's also been She-Hulk. So, this is more likely the one out of the Disney Plus side of things that they're definitely going to be in a movie. So, I am going to go... good chance they'll show up. Because there's no way that he doesn't show up. And if he doesn't show up, I'm going to be furious. Alright, so... Deadpool. This one's hard. Because part of me's like, yeah, I want to see him in this movie, but also I kind of get why you would save them for Secret Wars. But also, I am probably going to be announced because the other person that had his movie with Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool is also on this list, and I think that it's important for his arc, and they're in the same universe, so I'm not going to do that other person yet, but at least Deadpool, I'm going to say going to be announced. Okay, so Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff, this is an interesting one because she said that she's in either of the Avengers movies, but I am not going to be surprised if she does show up. But I'm going to go at least saving for Secret Wars because I don't think... Do I have him on here? I don't think I do. Oh crap, I forgot one. Oh, anyway, but I forgot Doctor Strange. But anyway, but if Doctor Strange was going to be in this, I would at least go, like, good chance that they show up. Because, by the ending of Multiverse of Madness, him and Clea are going to go off on another adventure for the multiverse. But also, I think Doctor Strange is one of those characters that you would need in here. But yeah, look, but speaking of Multiverse of Madness, I have America Chavez. I am honestly going to go save him for Secret Wars because we're going to get the Young Avengers in Secret Wars by the leaked concept art that we got. I didn't make a video on, but if you go to the Jack Films TikTok page, I did make a video about the concept art. So go check out my thoughts of the concept art on the TikTok. It's not on the main channel because for safety reasons, but go check out the TikTok if you want to see my thoughts on the concept art. Alright, next up, the Eternals. No shot, because not only was the movie got a bad rap, but also most of the actors have moved on. You have big names in there, like you have Salma Hayek in there, you have Evangeline, oh my god, not Evangeline Lilly, you have Angelina Jolie in there. You have all these big actors, and I don't think that they'll be showing up. So next we have Photon. Not Photon. Oh my god. But the bloody Miss Marvel's friend in the first Captain Marvel, but she is now in the X-Men universe with Kelsey Grammer's Beast and Monica Rambeau. I am going to go... You can't ignore that, is my issue. I'm going to go at least good chance they show up. Because if you're doing a cameo, that's fine, but you would need at least more of a cameo because, like, I would at least expect, if you're going to do a cameo, I want to the length of the Chris Evans cameo in Deadpool Wolverine, where you get, like, hardly a fight scene, like, he does the thing that everyone wants him to do. He tries to fight, and then he gets hurt, but then he's talking to our main leads about the plot and where they are and stuff. That's what I expect. If they were going to do a cameo, I would want her to be a cameo like that. But I feel like by the way that the Marvels ended, you kind of need her as an integral part of Doomsday. Alright, so Nick Fury. Oh, this one's difficult because we got Secret Invasion, which was BS. It was total shit. And then we also got the Marvels, which I like the Marvels. I'm currently rewatching the Infinity Saga. I'm up to Captain America. Next up is Avengers, and I love Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury. I am gonna go maybe a cameo because you gotta remember they haven't really been using Nick Fury that much. They haven't been using him since Far From Home, Secret Invasion, and the Marvels. Those are the only projects which, in the Infinity Saga, they were using him constantly. He showed up at the end of Iron Man. He was in, oh my god. He was in Iron Man 2. He, didn't show up for Thor, but he, was in Captain America. He was in Avengers. He was in, Age of Ultron. He was in Winter Soldier. And I think there was a few others. Captain Marvel, he was a big part in. Far From Home. So, like, he's one of the integral parts of the Infinity Saga, but I don't think they're going to be using a lot of those characters in the multiverse saga, especially Doomsday and Secret Wars. Next up, we have Hulk. Now, here's the interesting thing. It's weird because I don't have hardly any of the Young Avengers on here. I only have like 2 or 3. But anyway, Hulk, I'm going to be announced because that is one character that you would need. That is an integral part of Doomsday, especially since they're doing the Doctor Doom route. Like I said with Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye, you need those characters that had a relationship with RDJ as Iron Man for an important part of the story of the Doctor Doom thing to work. That's the only reason why I can see them casting RDJ. And I'm excited for RDJ's Doom, but only if they did that story. If they did a normal Doctor Doom story, I would not like the portrayal of... well, I would like the portrayal, but I would not want to see Robert Downey Jr. in that role. I would only want to see Robert Downey Jr. in that role to get our Infinity Saga Avengers reaction. Not necessarily because, oh, hey, look, I'm a Doctor Doom, I'm a Victor Von Doom that doesn't remind you at all of Iron Man. I would not want that storyline. Next up, we have Evangeline Lilly's Wasp. This is interesting because she's retired from acting. I'm going to go no shot. Because if they are going to do her shot, and I hope I put her in the Secret Wars list. I don't think I did. Or maybe I did. Did I put her in? No, I don't think I did. But if I was going to go with any people to go with Paul Rudd's Ant-Man, it would have to be Catherine Newton's Cassie. I don't think Evangeline Lilly, after Quantumania and her being nothing in that movie, even though that she did have a bit of a role, she had fuck all of a role. in that movie, but I don't think she'll show up because she's retired. Next up we have John Bernthal's Punisher. Boy, man, I'm gonna go no shot because I can't see him showing up for either of these events, because as much as I want to see Punisher, I don't think that I think that the TV people, except for Joe Cox, are going to stay on the TV end of the universe, and they're not going to cross over into the movies that much. Okay, so Mobius. I'm going to go at least a cameo, because if you go to my podcast channel, the Jack Films podcast channel, or Jack Films Podcasts, like an S, as in like, this is my podcast channel type thing. And if you go to one of my first Marvel Cinematic Universe podcasts I did with my little cousin, was a Deadpool and Wolverine theory video, and I mentioned that I think Mobius is going to show up, because this was before we got the trailer. I was like, I think Mobius is going to show up to bring Deadpool and Wolverine into the MCU. I think that that's going to happen. I think that Mobius is going to be in this movie because of all the crazy multiverse stuff happening, and he would bring all the heroes into the TVA, and then the Void, my theory, and I think a lot of people's theory at the moment, is that the Void will become Battleworld, because these universes will all collide, landing in the Void, and then that will be Battleworld. So I'm going to go maybe a cameo for Mobius. Storm. This is one that I'm like, how the hell do you not announce her? I definitely think she's going to show up, because she is... I mean, if I knew that X-Men were going to show up in this movie, because I thought that they were going to at least put X-Men in Secret Wars. But if you were like, oh, if X-Men is showing up on Doomsday, what characters are you putting money on? Not who you want to see, but who are you putting money on? I'm like... I mean, part of me would have gone James Marsden because of all the Sonic interviews, but I would have definitely gone like, oh, Halle Berry. Because she came back for Days of Future Past, so she's more likely a get than James Marsden. So I'm going to be announced, because if you announced, especially James Marsden, you need to announce Jean Grey, and then you need to announce Storm. Because I honestly think that is one that I'm like, you definitely need to announce. Because then you get our core 4 X-Men, if our next one's going to show up. And that is Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I honestly think that he is going to be announced. If Deadpool's showing up, I think that will be a very emotional arc for Logan, especially after Deadpool and Wolverine, and having Professor X there, Cyclops there, Nightcrawler, Beast, even Magneto and Mystique. Even though those two are more Brotherhood of Evil Mutants than they are Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters members, but especially since you have like 4 of your main X-Men already announced for Doomsday, with Nightcrawler, Professor X, Cyclops, and Beast, I honestly think that you're going to announce Hugh Jackman. I am curious if this means that the X-Men is one world. Like, is all the X-Men the same universe as Deadpool and Wolverine? Because apparently that is the rule, but I doubt it, because there is no way you're going to make that happen. Because there's got to be only one universe that is the, that is the comic book outfits, and that is the universe that Wolverine comes from. Yeah, and then, so next up we have Photon. I'm going to go going to be announced. Because if you've announced Beast, how come you won't announce her? Like, this is one that you're like, you need her in it. So, next up we have Moon Knight. This is an interesting one because he hasn't shown up since his show. At least these other ones I've announced, we've either got concept art for them, or we've seen them since their projects. Like, Captain Marvel, fans, depending on who you ask, fans like her, some people don't. But she's very popular. She was on the cruise ship, she was in Shang-Chi, the post-credit scene, and she was also leading her own movie. Moon Knight, we haven't seen anything of Moon Knight since his show, so I'm going to go no shot they shows up. Next up we have Miss Marvel. That's an interesting one. Because I think they're saving her for Secret Wars, because by the concept art and also the fact that, like I said with America Chavez and Kate Bishop, you have their series coming out. I don't think they've announced it, but there were definitely talks that they were going to have a series, and also we got the concept art for Secret Wars. So, next up we have Wong. I am going to go good chance they show up, because you would need the Sorcerer Supreme. Even though Doctor Strange is probably the most likely, I will not be surprised if Wong shows up though. Next up we have Star-Lord. I am definitely going to say going to be announced for this one, because the end of Guardians 3, we see that post-credit scene, and in white, with black text, we see the legendary Star-Lord will return. I think that's definitely going to be paid off in these two Avengers movies, especially Doomsday. So yeah. Alright, so next up we have our last X-Men for the moment. I am going to talk about more X-Men when we do my predictions for the Secret Wars cast. So next up Rogue. I haven't heard anything about her in ages, so I don't know if she's done interviews or she's come up and said stuff online of she's not interested in doing another X-Men movie or being Rogue again or what. Because she got really harassed on the X-Men 3 set by the director. And then she was barely in the theatrical cut of Days of Future Past. Like, they had to release her own cut of Days of Future Past called the Road Cut, which I will review one day. But no, so like, there's all these different ways you could go with this, because it's like, she probably really likes returning Days of Future Past, but also she probably got kind of hurt that her scenes were completely freaking cut out of the theatrical version. Oh my god. I'm gonna go maybe a cameo. Even though I think that it's probably not gonna be a cameo. She's either gonna be in or out, but I am right in the middle, so at the moment I'm gonna go maybe a cameo, but I want to see her, especially her interaction with Hugh Jackman again. I want to see that. Because we all know that the X-Men are going to be in their comic book outfits and not their black suits. Even though that my dream Secret Wars was have everyone in their classic outfits. Like, have the X-Men in the black, just so then we get to actually see the different eras of X-Men. But if you're actually doing the comic book looks, like, it's... Because I don't know if you will continue the continuity of the fact of Rogue having a relationship with Wolverine like you did in the first trilogy of X-Men movies, but I really want to see Rogue. She-Hulk, I am definitely gonna go good chance they show up, because we did get that concept art of her, Scar, and Hulk on the Hulk planet for Secret Wars, and I'm really excited. Now, oh my god, this is difficult. We have the new Guardians with Rocket, Cosmo, Kraglin, Groot, and Adam Warlock, and also the young chick that they rescue from the ship in Guardians 3. I am honestly going to go... This is hard. This is very, very hard. I am going to go... saving for Secret Wars. Because I don't think... Because even though that they probably will show up in this movie, I think Star-Lord's the most likely that will actually have a role. If you're going to do the new Guardians, I would save them for Secret Wars, especially the new ones. Because Dave Bautista doesn't want to come back. Zoe Saldana doesn't want to come back. Palm Komentov, we haven't heard anything if she wants to come back, because she only did 2 movies on the holiday special. Oh, I guess also Infinity War and Endgame, but yeah, okay, so Tom Holland's Spider-Man, going to be announced to me, but also he does have a movie coming out right after it. But I do think that he's going to be announced because I think that Spider-Man 4 is going to pick up immediately after Doomsday. Alright, so Valkyrie, I am going to go good chance they show up, because you've announced Thor. You don't need to announce Mighty Thor, because I don't think Jane Foster's going to make a comeback. Even though I really wanted to, I doubt it. But I think Valkyrie's going to show up. War Machine, I am going to go... good chance he shows up. Because you need Rhodey. We haven't seen Rhodey since both Falcon Winter Soldier and Secret Invasion. And he was a Skrull in Secret Invasion, and that was just a stupid twist, in my opinion, that I'm just like, what the hell? But anyway, okay, so White Vision. He's in Secret Wars. We know that because of the concept, he's hanging out with Star-Lord. But I honestly think he's going to make a cameo. Because he is going to be in a series called Vision Quest. With James Spader as Ultron again, which I'm very excited for. But that is the list, everyone. I am very happy with this list, especially with the X-Men, Deadpool, Wolverine, Star-Lord, Tom Holland, Spidey, and Captain Marvel definitely going to be announced. And honestly, that is, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 that they're definitely going to be announced. Well, I think that they're definitely going to announce. We still need, like, what? 15, 16 more? But I'm happy with that, because you don't know who they're going to pull for this cast. So, yeah, so guys, please hit the like down below if you haven't already. Subscribe us to the little bell icon to get notified future videos I make. I am going to do this for Secret Wars casting predictions, so I'll see you guys in that video. Take care. Bye.
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon.